So I've owned the FX30 for a little over half a day. It arrived yesterday afternoon, and as soon as it came, I knew I wanted to get up into the mountains and start creating some video with it. We had some great conditions coming in one of the canyons local to me. So I met up with two of my friends, Cody and Jakob, to film a little video on the FX30 as we went up Big Cottonwood Canyon and to catch some of that mood rolling in. So sit back and enjoy. So hopefully you enjoyed that little video showcasing what the FX30 can do. Literally just run and gun shooting up the canyon. Big shout out to Cody and Jakob to helping me film it. But bottom line is I am very impressed with the FX30. So to cut a long story short, I needed a second camera body for my business. I'm shooting on the A7 IV right now, which has been my #1 camera for the last year, literally since it came out. And I have nothing but good things to say about that camera. I will be doing a 1-year review coming very soon of the A7 IV, but literally it's the best camera you can buy for the money right now if you're a hybrid shooter. But I wanted something that was more kind of video centric to have as my main video camera to go hand in hand with my A7 IV. A 2-camera setup has a lot of benefits, particularly if you're solo shooting. But for myself, I didn't want to spend too much on a second camera body, and I wanted my money to go as far as it possibly could. So the current options was either another A7 IV, a Sony A7S3, or an FX3. The A7 IV being the most budget friendly of those options, but it was still $2,500, and I already have an A7 IV. Enter the FX30. At $1,800, it's Sony's newest addition to their cinema lineup, literally a baby FX3. It is an APS-C sensor, but pairing that with a full-frame camera, I feel that I can get a variety of different focal ranges when I'm using my full-frame lenses on the FX30. Because it's the E-mount system, I can still use these lenses, it just adds that extra crop factor. Okay, so I have 3 reasons why I went with the FX30 as my main video camera and my secondary camera to go alongside my A7 IV. First reason is the price. $1,800 for the FX30, less than half the price of the FX3, and about half the price of the A7S3. Now the A7S3 was a big contender because it is pretty much the FX3, just in the typical A7 camera body style. However, recently Sony have been moving that line from the A7S3 and their cinema lineup with some firmware updates and just a few features that really separate the two and really emphasize that these are cinema cameras, and the A7S3 is a hybrid camera that does very good video. Reason number 2 is the design of the FX30. It's literally an FX3 with slightly different internals. So the chassis is the exact same, and it has this cage-free design with mounting holes already on the camera body, so you can add accessories and rails, handles, without the need of an additional cage, which adds extra weight and extra bulk. The fact that it has active cooling is a big deal for me. My A7 IV would overheat when I was filming in the summer because Utah does get very hot, and I often found myself in certain scenarios when I was shooting in midday sun, no escape from the sunlight, and inevitably the camera is going to get hot. So the fact that this has active cooling in such a small form factor and small price point was a big deal for me. And the third point kind of encompasses the first 2 points, but it is an entry-level cinema camera. It gets me into that cinema lineup at a very, very small price point. The features are completely different from what I've experienced with the photocentric Sony cameras. I can bake in LUTs to my video footage, so many features and options that I'll be able to learn over the next couple of years without having to spend at least $4,000 with the FX3. So for $1,800, you get an entry-level cinema camera, literally the baby version of the FX3 that Netflix just certified as one of their cinema cameras. This is a huge deal for $1,800 for people who want to get into entry-level filmmaking and to enhance their skills and just push their content further. So I'm super excited to use this camera over the next couple of months and really push it to the test. That's pretty much it for my initial impressions review. Honestly, I'm super stoked for it. Probably the biggest thing for me though is just being able to have a second camera body with my setup and with my content creation. I do plan on putting out a one-ish week review of the FX30 as I use it more frequently over the next coming days. So if there's something that you want to see in that video, maybe a comparison between the A7 IV, definitely let me know and I'll do my best to include it. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you later.